Hi, Jim Van Zant, one of the pastors here at Carlisle United Methodist Church, Sermon in 3 Minutes. Thanks for tuning in. We're doing a series called Half Truths, based on the book by Pastor Adam Hamilton of the same title. This week's half truth that we looked at was, God said it, I believe it, that settles it. That's a phrase you may have heard or seen on bumper stickers. Oftentimes when I've heard it, the user or the person who is saying it is kind of saying, not only giving an opinion about what the authority is in their life, but kind of saying it in defiance, and sometimes in a way that it's in the Bible, I believe it, that's the way it's going to be. Problem with that, being a half-truth, is that what's in the Bible sometimes God didn't say, and the last part of the phrase, that settles it, well, biblical interpretation isn't quite settled yet either. So the phrase is kind of a half-truth. Yes, we all need an authority in our lives, and many people build that on the Scriptures, and certainly the primacy of Scriptures is understood in the living of the Christian faith. I've also heard people use the phrase as a way to make life simple. So much of our lives is so very complicated. The last thing they want complicated in their lives is their life of faith. I can appreciate that very much, and you probably can too. Sometimes we get such controversy, or we get some opposing views with biblical interpretation, you and I are left not knowing what to believe. That's why I so much appreciated back some couple of decades ago when we first saw the bracelets that had WWJD on them. I really loved that. Why? Because it made the faith kind of simple. Not simplistic, but kind of simple in its application. What would Jesus do? In any situation that comes up in our lives, it is good for us to investigate, what would Jesus do? Sometimes that answer is very obvious. Sometimes it's not so obvious and requires us to do some study and digging, which is an important thing also to do in our lives. But it's a real safe kind of way to live our Christian lives. I don't think we can go wrong with WWJD. I've kind of always thought that the best interpreter of the Scriptures is Jesus himself. So if I had to change the phrase from God said it, I believe it, to that settles it, I would change the phrase to Jesus said it, I believe it, and I'm going to do my best to live it. This is a sermon in 3 minutes. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in.